Let's take a look at an app called Niki Agenda. So we're going to use Niki Agenda as a calendar. So this has a daily and weekly calendar for children, teenagers, and adults needing visual organization of their days. This especially helps people with communication difficulties and/or behavior problems to increase their levels of autonomy and participation. When you look it up in the App Store, this is what you'll see. Let's go ahead and open it. You'll see this automatically opens into the daily view. So there are two modes for scheduling and showing activities. There's daily, that's here, or I could go to weekly, which is down here, this little calendar icon. I'll click on that and it opens up a weekly view. Notice the day that we're currently on. Today is actually Monday. It's going to show that bolded. The rest of the week will be grayed out, right? So if I go back to my weekly view here, notice my weekly or my daily view. My daily view is actually divided into morning, afternoon, and evening, okay? So I have different activities for each of my parts of the day, okay? So let's say I want to go back to the morning and I want to add an activity in. In order to add an activity, I'm going to go to the lock and I'm going to click. It's going to ask me to do some math. Thank goodness I got it correct. Now you'll notice I actually have the editing capability. So when the lock is unlocked, I can edit. So now I can add a new event. All right. So here's my new activity. If I click here, I have the ability to erase new activity. And let's say I want to put in horseback riding. All right. When I have that done, I can click here to make the keyboard go back down. That's my horseback riding. Now, obviously, I want a picture for this. That's way better. So you'll notice there's some preloaded pictures, or you could actually load in your own pictures. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So I can take pictures of things maybe that I have around my house or in places I go, or I could actually just get pictures from the internet. Either way will work, okay? So what's important is that I have a visual representation that makes sense to my child. So I'm going to click on the horse and there's my horseback riding, okay? But let's say now all the new activities are going to get added at the end. So whatever the last activity is, it'll add after that. If I want to move that activity, I click on this little pencil over here. And then I have the ability to move that. Okay, that's actually going to be before lunch. And I move it up. Notice I want to make sure that it highlights it and then I can move it wherever I want it to go. All right. So that's one thing I can do in the edit mode. All right. I could also clear the activity status. What that's going to do is actually clear off the entire activity status. And I may or may not want to do that depending on the day. But let's say if I want to do the whole week, what that's going to do is it's actually going to clear off. Let's say I have, I put in, I'll explain what these marks are in just a second. Let's say I could use the check marks. So I could use a symbol for the state. So completed, canceled, next. So completed, canceled, next, or I could do it with favorites or my preferred things that are timed, or I could do something that has a reward that is linked to it, okay, that I got rewarded for it. So you can put those in. Once I have those in, when I click this button, it will actually clear. Okay, if I want to clear this day, I do that and it's going to clear the status. So notice that check mark went away. The reward didn't go away. So it's going to just take away the status of those, which is the first three. So the completed, the finished, or the next. So now I can clear the status of those. Only this day, it's going to clear off those statuses. If I want to take the star away, all I have to do is just click the box and that goes away. Okay. So that is my calendar view. So if I'm all done there, I can click here. I can come over to rewards. So this actually has a built-in token board that you can use for a student. So if they are your child, so if they do get a star, notice you have a nice jazzy little sound with these. And I get a little party, okay? So I was working for Target. But now let's say I want to change this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that button and I'm going to unlock at the bottom. Now I have the ability to change what I'm working for. So maybe now I want to work to go to stained glass class, okay? And I want my child to have to actually work for 10 stars to get their stained glass class, okay? Because it's a much bigger prize, so I want them to get 10 stars for this. you can go anywhere from 1 star to 10 stars. Okay. Once I select that, I can relock, or I can just click that X and it'll go back out. Okay. Other things that you can edit in the edit mode, I can come in here and I can look at, first of all, I could have different profiles. So you were just looking at my profile, okay? Or I could have a profile for my cat for their schedule. I could have a profile for school. So maybe you want to have a home and a school one that's separate. So they see their schedule at school, they see their schedule at home. And then notice I have some different options. I could just do daily and not have the weekly option. I have that selected. I can change my font. We can look at the different status that is in here. I can take them away, so I could not have any status available, or I can have them available. I can actually change my colors if I want to. It gives me that option. There are 2 different styles of views, so you can see what works best for you. For the token economy, there's the animation. So you'll notice we just have the fireworks, we got the little party, and the sound is on, okay? But you can change those, all right? So those are some different options that you can change within the profiles. I can also add pictures here. So notice I've added some pictures here that are pictures I have chosen to put in here. I can always add a picture. This will access my camera. So let's say I want to add Hershey Park as one of my options. I can move and scale it, use that. Now that's going to be available for me to use in my rewards or in my schedule. Okay. So this is where you're going to add. If I go here, it'll take me to my albums. If you do want to do anything, like if you wanted to save a picture of Target, so this is something I just downloaded from the internet, you're just going to find pictures on the internet, save the pictures to your photos, and then you'll be able to access them from here. Okay. So I want to play with plants. That might be another one of my options. Now I've added that in. Okay. So that's how you add extra pictures in. There is an option to back up their schedules, so that might be a nice option for you. And then if you click the info button, it'll give you more information. But overall, that's a view of Niki Diary. So you'll notice if I do the check marks here that everything's completed, especially when I go out here to my weekly view, I'll have a picture, complete picture of what the day looks like. What did I complete? Were there any things I didn't? This gives you a chance, especially in the weekly view, for your child to see where they have things that they really love. Or the timer one is really nice because this might mean, okay, this is somewhere we're going to have a time limit to how long we can actually spend doing this activity. And maybe you want to use one of the timer apps that, we present in one of our other videos. But this gives you kind of that week at a glance picture, shows you everything going on. You could also see if you are using the reinforcement. So if I got my star here, I got some stars here. Now, when we go back out to that weekly view, I could actually see and count some of the stars here too, to see how well I did with those activities. Maybe this is where you actually want to note an activity where you're going to use the token board. You may not use the token board for every single activity, but this would be a good way to show, okay, we are going to use the token board here, and you have the opportunity to earn some reinforcement. You may not need it for something like horseback riding or lunch, or you may, okay? So you can use those symbols to designate what you would like them to symbolize, okay? And that is Niki Agenda. So a great app just to kind of have a very nice visual representation of what a day looks like, what the week looks like. It does come preloaded with pictures. If they're, too young for your child or individual, you may want to think about uploading your own pictures like I did in several of these. So we have the ability to upload, make the pictures more personalized in their own. But again, just a very simple, great way to see either that weekly or that daily view and kind of see what's coming up and what we've done, what we've gotten reinforced for, where my favorite things are. Lots of good features you can use here in a lot of different ways. We hope this is a very meaningful app for you and you enjoy using it. Thank you.